Hi guys, this is my first time going on Facebook Live. I'm definitely nervous. I was trying to invite people because I'm not sure how to really do that. So I'm learning different things to do to come out of my comfort zone as I really expand on my brand. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in with me on a Friday night. You could be doing so many other things, but you're here with me. So I just want to thank you for that. And as promised, I wanted to bring you your tea bite. So after a long day, I'm definitely going to be able to bring in your tea bite, and I'm going to do my best to keep it brief. So I just want to thank one of our viewers who's actually on the live right now, Had Sharon Wahid. I just want to thank her for giving us our topic of trying to find ways to help manage single parent stress. So I had wrote down about 6 tips because I know I'm going to get caught up in different ideas and subjects and my mind is going to be somewhere else. So in order to stay focused, I'm just going to bring you maybe 6 quick tips that I hope can help you. If you have any further questions, I'll definitely do my best to answer them during the live, but because this is my first time, I'll probably end up answering them later. So just bear with me. So one of the tips that I have is actually to parent the behavior and not the child. And let me just give this disclaimer first, is that I am not a professional parent. I'm a professional parent, but I'm not like this grand expert on how to be a great parent. However, I am an amazing parent. At the same time, the fact that I'm actually a professional as far as a therapist, and I work with families, and I work with children from ages 0 to 17 and help them with their attachments with their parents. I think that I'm a pretty good expert in that sense. And also I am a licensed social worker as in a clinical therapist. And I also am a parent myself of a soon to be 16-year-old. So I think that gives me some pretty good credentials. And I've always been like a child sitter. So my first tip would be to, when you have your children and they do something and they end up getting themselves in trouble, you want to be careful to punish the behavior and not the child. And I know a lot of times we can get frustrated because our kids do things that they shouldn't do. And when they do these things, we just react out of frustration and out of disappointment for the things that they've done. So what we want to do is we want to say, instead of saying, you always doing this and you always doing that, I'm so disappointed in you for being such a loser. And why would you do this? And why would you do that? You're such an idiot and you're such a dummy. We need to say, let me take a step back. You know what? I really didn't like when you identify that behavior. I really didn't like it when you did this. And I really didn't like it when you did that. So when you do that, they understand that, hey, I'm not a bad person. Because when you discipline them, when you discipline them and you're yelling at them and you're screaming at them, what they start to do is they start to feel like they're a bad person. And you don't want your child to feel like they're a bad person. You want them to know, and even though you're doing things that I don't like, I still love you. And I'm still here for you and I support you and I'm always going to be here for you. So sometimes children feel like they're bad people because of the way that we discipline them. So we have to be careful not to talk about them, but it's the behavior that you're doing that I do not like. Number 2 would be, there's a difference between telling your child what to do and then explaining why. So when you're telling your child what to do, don't just say, go over there and do this. Do it because I told you to. Now that's the old school way. And I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of like how I was raised to some degree. But at the same time, you're not teaching your child anything. What you're doing is actually saying, do this because I told you so. And how is that really helping anybody? Because at some point, I'm going to have to figure out what was the right thing to do. But I'm not learning what's the right thing to do because you're not telling me anything. You're just saying, do it because I said so. Because I have this power and this authority over you. And who gave you this power? Who gave you this authority? Yes, I understand and I respect the fact that you are my parent, but you're not really giving me any guidance. You're just saying, do so because I said so, which is not helpful at all, because there's going to come a point in time where they have to make decisions on their own and they can't. And it's kind of impossible because nobody ever explained to me why I should make this decision. I just did it because my mom said so. But when you get a little bit older, you kind of figure out, well, who said that mom was right? Who said that dad was right? Or your auntie or your uncles, who said that they were right? They might have just told you what to do because that's what they knew. That's what somebody told them. So next I have trust that you did a good job and give your child the freedom to show you that they learned something. You can't keep your child sheltered all the time and not give them the opportunity to show you that they learned something. So if you keep them up underneath of you for your own comfort, they're not going to get the opportunity to say, hey, you can trust me. I learned something. You did a good job. And your kids won't always say, hey, mom, dad, you did a good job raising me. Or should I just say caregiver, because there aren't always just a mom and a dad raising the children. But let's just say caregiver. They're not always going to say that. But what they're going to do is show you through their actions that you did a good job. So give them the opportunity. They ask you, can they hang out with their friends? You know what? Even though you may want to say no, because I'm there sometimes. I don't even want to say yes. But you know what? You got it. Go ahead. You can do it. And so when you do these things, it allows that child to say, you know what? My parent trusts me. Might make them come home and do a little bit more. Might do something that they're supposed to do without you having to tell them, because they're excited and happy that they get to do something and you're showing that you trust them. So a relationship between a parent and child is give and take. It's not just I do these things and I tell you what to do and you have to listen, but it's a relationship between a caregiver and that child, and they have to be trust in relationships. And when it's not a trust in relationship, that's when you have a lot of issues and a lot of problems. And then there's a lot of butting heads and there's a lot of conflict. Now, I do want to clarify that there will always be parent and child conflict to some degree, because that's what they're supposed to do. We're raising them to become independent people where they won't depend on us all the time. So they are going to challenge our authority sometimes and the things that we say. Even the most amazing kids, the best kids, the most obedient kids, the ones who get the best grades, all of those things, they're going to challenge us. And you know what? Instead of being intimidated by that, you stand your ground and just understand this is your child growing up. So don't always be so quick to respond and put them down, because that opportunity, when it comes later on in life where they're supposed to speak up for themselves and stand up for themselves, they're not going to know how to stand out against the crowd. They're not going to know how to speak up for themselves. So then I also have number 4, do not parent your child out of fear. So what I experience in my own therapy that I conduct with families is a lot of times that parents are very anxious and parents are, afraid for their child to be from up underneath of them or to get out and to do anything. So then they say, well, you can't do this. And oh, no, don't do this. And oh, no, you can't. Oh, no, well, they can't do this because this is going to happen and so forth and so on. But they're speaking from their own experiences. They're not speaking from something that their child actually experienced. And so you end up instilling and teaching your child to be afraid of things that they never even experienced in their lives. And we're just continuing to create a cycle of unrealistic fears for people who never experienced things. But because I'm so terrified, something happened to me when I was your age. And because I'm so afraid and I refuse for that ever to happen to you, I'm not going to let you from underneath of my eyes. I refuse to let you go from out of this house. I need to drop you off and pick you up everywhere it is that you go. These kids want some freedom. They don't have to stay in their rooms all day. They don't have to play video games. They don't have to do all those things. Let them get out and have some freedom. And be mindful of your own experiences and make sure that the things that you say to your child is not because you're afraid. It's okay to say, you know what, something happened to me when I was your age, and I really would be afraid if something like that happened to you, and I always want to protect you and make sure you're okay. So I'm going to trust you. Now, it's the other people out here that I don't trust. Yes, of course. But I'm going to trust you to be aware of your surroundings and keep in mind that this could happen and that can happen. Let them know that you'll always be there for them. Text me when you get there. Answer the phone. And you know what, parents? Sometimes we have to do that with our own kids too. Let them know you made it to your destination. Give them a phone call. Let them know, hey, I'm okay. You know what? I'm on my way home. So we lead by example, because they don't always listen. And I'm sure I'm not the only parent who has a child who doesn't always listen. I know I wasn't always a child who listened. So we have to lead by example. Number 5, you have to learn how to accept help. Now, being a parent, you can't do everything all the time. You are one person. So you're not an octopus. You don't have all these hands and can't be everywhere. And then you wonder why you're so fatigued. You're fatigued because you're doing so much. You are one person. Allow yourself to get the space and time that you need. If you got a grandmother over here who wants to help, you got a neighbor who you can trust who's over here that wants to help, you got some cousins, some nephews, some older people who you can trust with your child, allow those people to help you, because you cannot do everything and you're going to wear yourself out. You're going to be burning the candle at both ends. And you want to be very, very mindful of that, because what will end up happening is that you're burnt out, you're frustrated, and then you're reacting with that frustration to your child. You're yelling, you're screaming, you're carrying on, and your child's never seeing you happy, and they just seeing you as this evil, bitter person. So we don't want to parent our children from out of bitterness. Also, my final tip, which is number 6, would be self-care. As a single parent, you have to make sure that you're taking out some time for yourself, to look out for you, to say, you know what, even if that means that you take a bath, that means when all the kids go to bed, don't wait until, the house is in chaos. You have to find the right time. You know when your house is finally calm. So when the kids go to sleep, take out that time, buy yourself a special bubble bath, buy yourself some Epsom salt, because that's actually detoxifying, some Epsom salt, some Himalayan salt. Find some different things that you can do for yourself to kind of help you relax and restore and replenish as a parent. You can do something really simple by eating a healthy lunch while you're at work, packing your lunch so you get a little bit of extra time. Take the long way to work sometimes. Wake up an extra hour early before your children, so then that way you have some time to yourself, to not rush, to regroup and just think about you, to focus on yourself, to pack your bag for the day. Make sure you have everything it is that you need. One thing that I love to do and I've gotten known for is always having my own lunch packed. And what I like to do is pack like a little special snack for myself, which is usually like sugar cookies with like colorful sprinkles on it. And I like to pack, I want to say like 4, but it really turns into more like 6 or 8. And it's like the large size. But I do that because I know at some part of the day, I'm going to need something to make me feel good inside, even if I'm having a rough day. So what could that possibly be? That's going to be them sugar cookies with the jimmies on it. But also something that I did was the time that I took, because I love to bake. Baking allows me to relax. And you don't want to be a stress eater. I'm not a stress eater, but I do like to have good snacks. But I only like the kind that I can purchase, that I can make myself. I don't like the kind that I can purchase the store-bought, the kind off the shelves. I don't like that. So just little tips and things that you can do. Something else that I find to be helpful is arts and crafts. Take out something that says you are more than, I'm going to speak directly from the woman's perspective. I know there are a lot of men out there who are raising their children on their own. I work with a lot of them, so I know that they are, and they go through the same exact things that women do. But I can only primarily speak from the woman's perspective, because people are single for a lot of different reasons. They are raising their children on their own for a lot of different reasons. It's not always because they weren't a good partner. Sometimes it's not by choice. Sometimes that other parent died, or sometimes it's because that other parent is incarcerated. It's for a lot of different reasons. So let's also, as our village, not be so quick to judge this person who's raising their child by themselves. So that would also be a good self-care. So don't feel guilty about being a single parent. Be the best single parent that you can. And then that's also allowing other people to help you. So getting back to some more self-care and just doing different things, I found arts and crafts to be extremely helpful in just taking that time for myself. Don't worry about, if you're doing things by yourself and people see you by yourself. Get out there, go have lunch by yourself, go to a movie, do something, buy yourself a nice pair of pajamas and just look forward to that time to relax. Find a free event to go to on Eventbrite. Spend some time, relax, do something for you, because you wear all these different roles, all these different hats. You are more than just a parent. So for the female perspective, you're a mom, you're a wife, or you're a partner. You are a daughter, you are a sister, you are an employee, you're a professional, you're a brand maker. So you're a queen. You're all these different things. But please do not forget that you are a woman. You are a woman, and you need to take care of yourself, and you need to restore yourself. At some point, your kids are going to move on and do their own thing. So you got to find a way to identify who it is that you are as an individual. These are things that will definitely help you manage and reduce your parental stress, your single parent stress load. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. I'm definitely going to reply to your comments, to your comments. I really appreciate that. Again, I'm new to Facebook Live, so because of that, I can't exactly get to everybody's messages right away, but I did see that one. Thank you so much, Yvette. And thank you, Jihad, my business partner. I really appreciate that. Shout out to you as well. And I just want to thank Silver Crane. I see you. Hey, how you doing? And I know that Lavon was on here, and I saw Naima Menace, who actually was like my bestie in first grade. I remember I used to get in trouble all the time for talking too much in class about the little simple things like whose feet are bigger than the others. And then we have George watching. That's my brother-in-law. I appreciate you so much. Yes, I am a newbie. Andrew Hill, hey, how you doing? Yes, thank you so much. And I will see you guys soon. I will reply to your messages, and hopefully this will not be my last Facebook Live. Thank you so much. And please do share. Don't forget, hey, Joy, thank you. Don't forget to follow me, Martrice Define You Kennedy. And I do have a webpage at martricekennedy.com, MartriceKennedy. And if I knew what my YouTube channel was, I would tell you that too, but I don't remember what it is, but eventually you'll see it on my page. And you can also follow me on Instagram at MSKCHAICHAT. All right. Thanks, Hank. See you guys. Bye.